Kanye West has always been controversial, but this new release of this song has taken it up another level. Now, to understand how we even got here to something to many would seem so egregious, we have to understand the timeline that led to this. This is a man who not only had his kids essentially taken from him in a public dispute with another celebrity named Kim Kardashian, but he also had his bank accounts frozen. He's been banned relentlessly off of social media, and he's had multiple business deals taken away, and that led to his $8 billion net worth dropping to around $400 million. Now, the reason for his downfall has been the speech in which he has been participating in, leading to what we have here, which is Heil Hitler by Ye, formerly Kanye West, as a shot heard around the world in the latest attempt to push the boundary with what is allowed and what is not allowed. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce Heil Hitler by Kanye West.
With all of the money and fame, I still don't get to see my children. See my Twitter, but they don't see how I be feeling. So I became a Nazi, yeah, I'm the villain. They don't understand the things I say on Twitter. All my Nazis, Heil Hitler.
And basically that's the rest of the song.
Posted around 4 in the morning on May 8th, 2025, and sitting around about 7 million views, Kanye himself posted Heil Hitler to his X account in a response to which many digital streaming platforms have banned and pulled the song and the album, not allowing them on their platforms, which was an expected reaction given the nature of the content of the songs he was producing. Now, leading to this, actually, was a bunch of mixed reactions. Actually, a lot more positive than what even I was expecting, as I'm somebody who is on the dissident right. In many figures, I was not expecting to talk about this subject at all. And to sum it up, somebody who I was not expecting to have the take that they did, and what I think is in a more broad context and explains basically how a lot of people feel about this song, we have Sticks, X, and Hammer posting Heil Hitler is the defining song of the generation. A black dude, disenfranchised by the system, says screw it and becomes a Nazi just to mock the system and ridicule them. Bravo. Reactions across the internet were predictable and unpredictable at the same time, now giving us what I believe is to be one of the most genuine and organic reactions to the song comes from Cheezy Steezy.
But yeah, bro, I mean, I understand a little bit what Ye's trying to do. I understand a little bit. I don't fully understand, but I understand a little bit, and I'm starting to understand. But like, he's trying to test free speech right now. What gives all of these words so much power is us banning them from society, us putting shame on people who say it, us making a word exclusive to one race. Oh, only us black people can say nigga. You know, only us can, like, if somebody else says that, you got to jump them right there in the streets. That is what gives these words power, and what makes these words kryptonite to us. What he's trying to do is strip the kryptonite away from these words. And a lot of people are going to call him crazy, and a lot of people are going to hate him for doing this, but he's trying to allow society to be able to sing this song, sing the music, to say the words freely. When you can now joke about Hitler, and when you can now joke about Nazis, instead of like walking on eggshells, not trying to acknowledge what happened in the past. When you are able to break free from that, that is when you strip away the power from the words. That's when the words are no longer kryptonite. So there, that's probably the best I can say it. I don't think censoring things is the right way to go about moving forward.
Now, what I would say has been the majority of the reactions I have seen is showcased here by some random TikToker, but he writes in his caption there that Kanye West has officially deleted his career. And in the video, I would play it, but it does have music in the background. He basically avoids saying any of the words, scribbles out everything, showcasing just how trained every individual is to self-censor themselves. It is becoming a practice almost every person in this country is beginning to utilize, which in my opinion is a net negative. And furthermore, a reaction that may be less quantifiable, but maybe more predictable, is, and I have now seen countless videos of Gen Z individuals blasting the song in public. It is actually littered all over the X media page, as many individuals are actually singing it boastfully, unafraid of the consequences that will come to them. All in all, which I think was the initial point to making this music in the first place. And an extended portion of what we've already seen from the Michael Knowles show, he actually makes a bit of a weird defense for Kanye, kind of saying that what he's really saying is that Hitler's the bad guy, and that Kanye's self-aware of the decisions he's making makes him a villain, which I think is a bit of an odd take, but here it is.
How are ninjas Nazis? The Nazis view black people as subhuman. The Nazis viewed them as Untermenschen. They're subhuman. So how could a ninja be a Nazi? It's not possible. The exoteric meaning of the song is not possible. It doesn't make any sense. So Kanye's either a nut, yeah, maybe, or he's saying something else beyond the exoteric meaning. It seems to me that the introduction to the song actually sets that up. Because he's saying, I'm not in my right mind. I'm not thinking logically. I'm just full of anger and wrath and sin and vice. And I'm the villain. So Heil Hitler, I'm a Nazi. I became a Nazi. I'm the villain. Right there off the top. He's not saying Hitler is good. That's how this is going to be reported in the press. That is how Nazis are going to take it. And that is how the Kanye haters are going to take it. But it's not what he's saying. Right there off the top, he's saying, I'm bad. I'm doing bad things. I'm not being smart. I'm not being logical. I'm not making any sense. I'm bad. I'm a villain. That's why I'm a Nazi. In other words, the Nazis are the bad guys.
Now, most notably, of all the individuals who are not clutching their pearls at the song being released in the first place, the majority of the reactions I have seen have been similar to what we see here from Mike Cernovich, which he writes, someone tweeted, no one would be upset if Kanye had released the song called Hail Satan, and I can't stop thinking about that. Highlighting what is allowed and what is not allowed in our society. Showcasing that Hitler is a much worse villain in the eyes of the average individual than the literal devil. Piggybacking off of Mike Cernovich's post, Evan Kilgore writes, let me get this straight. More people in the world are mad that Kanye West made a song saying Heil Hitler than they are when Lil Nas X made a music video literally descending to hell to seduce and have sex with Satan and then crowns himself the devil? Got it. Once again, highlighting that there is a clear allowance and disallowance of beliefs and disbeliefs, showcasing once again that I have been saying for quite some time, that it is not a matter of if your government and society is religious or not. It is a matter of which religion it will follow and honor, showcased here again. Furthermore, Clint Russell does us the justice by posting some lyrics that actually are allowed on Spotify, highlighting some rap lyrics here. And I think to make this point of even a bit more broad and a more public light, if anyone is familiar with the YMW Melly story, this is a man who wrote a song called Murder on My Mind. This song actually was about a real scenario that took place that he wrote about, which later led to him being imprisoned for said murder charges. Once again, highlighting that there is a clear high degree of degeneracy allowed in the larger, broader space of all that is social media and internet. Yet, one specific person, one specific ideology is still held from the mix. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this has been already banned from all digital streaming platforms, at least all of the large ones. Maybe there are some smaller ones that I'd missed here and there, but at least the large ones and the ones that matter have banned this music from being on their platform. Now we do have Nick Fuentes giving his take and his energy for this song.
I don't know if you heard, but the song Heil Hitler is out, but not on DSPs. That's the other big story. Heil Hitler by Ye was released last night. They attempted to upload it to Spotify, Apple Music, the other services, but they won't let Ye upload the song. Song of the Summer is officially censored. But I've been listening to it all day. I have it stuck in my head. So we'll have a little update on that front maybe in the coming days, what we're going to do about that. If we're going to torrent it, if we're going to make it an MP3, but we need to make the song heard. Even though it's banned on DSPs, we need to get the song everywhere. People need to blast it from their car radio. People need to blast it on TV, on live streams. You need to go and photobomb live streams. You need to stream snipe the biggest streamers playing the song. Now, you can wear a mask. You do whatever you need to do to protect your identity, but we need to get the song out there. The song needs to be heard. It's a great song. We can't let Spotify shut it down, but that's a little other update.
And to put more succinctly, after that show, Nick Fuentes posted on X that all major streaming platforms have banned Heil Hitler by Ye. Meanwhile, songs about drugs, murder, blasphemy, Satanism, and suicide are all acceptable. Doesn't that prove him right? All in all, to which I agree. And I actually do agree with Sticks, X, and Hammer. I do think that this song will not only define this generation, but will become the anthem that will be played in response to the government overreach and what we have been accustomed to, which has been our withering ability to speak freely without fear of character assassination, losing your job, or otherwise be demuned in any other way simply for speaking, which I believe is your God-given right to do so. It is breaking barriers that I didn't even think were possible to be broken, but when you think about it quite succinctly, you are combining the N-word with a Nazi slogan, essentially, which are two of the most not able to say things, however the N-word, one group is allowed to say them, but combining them in showcasing how much power such a simple phrase, a 3-4 worded phrase, can utterly throw a wrench into the system, as they simply cannot contain the inspirations that come along with the ideologies that oppose all of the things that the people in power wish to do, and their agenda, if you will. I conclude by saying I think that this has been probably the greatest thing I've probably seen from Kanye West, not in terms of what it pushes inherently with the content, but in terms of what it sets out to do, which is to showcase again that our speech is truly not free. You do have boundaries, and there is a reckoning coming, especially from the younger generations who are unwilling to participate in this he said, she said, PC culture of not being allowed to say things that you can see with your literal eyes. I thank Kanye West for giving us this. And I would just like to know, what is your guys' reaction? I enjoyed the song. I love what the song represents. I wish it obviously had a more Christian nature, don't get me wrong, but otherwise, I will always smile when I can watch the system at large wince and double over in response to such a simple yet genius move, and orchestration, and the execution was perfect. Congrats, Kanye West. Maybe the system dies after this. And if you made it this far, make sure you smash the like button. I appreciate it very much. It helps my show and my YouTube channel quite a bit. And again, let me know what your thoughts are. I know this might be a bit racy, bit charged, but again, I wanted to put it out there because I do think this work matters, and it matters tremendously. I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.